My mom didn't want to see me over the holidays and makes me feel like I don't have a place in her life anymore since I picked my dad in the divorce, but she moved 45 minutes away from school, and all I asked was to stay with him on school days. Posted by u/tame_armadillo5607. I know it sounds bad, I have a lot of regrets, but everything was really hard after my 19F parents got divorced when I was 13. I had a happy childhood before then, and was closest with my mom. The divorce was harder on me than my older sister Penny, 21F, who kind of took it in stride. My mom moved out and into an apartment, and was just generally incredibly depressed. She drank a lot and it was just a mess. We were 50-50, but the schedule they came up with was annoying because I'd have to switch houses like every 2 to 3 days, and I went to a private school so I had uniforms and I was always getting in trouble for leaving them at the other house or not having things. Then Mom moved 45 minutes away from my school. They gave my sister a car so that she would drive me to school, but I played sports and she didn't want to hang around for me after school. So I was always waiting around and would sometimes just end up at my dad's anyways. So I asked if I could stay with Dad on weekdays and Mom on weekends. My dad didn't want to only have me for school days, so I was with him one weekend and her the other 3. I thought it was awesome, but I could tell my mom seemed less, fond of me. My sister was supposed to drive me, but again with sports some weekends I'd call my mom to pick me up and she wouldn't be able to, and I was spending less time over there. I know she and Penny got much closer. Penny only came over to my dad's every other weekend by then too. We got into a massive fight when I was a sophomore because I had a big semifinals for state and I was on varsity game and she didn't go because she was taking Penny prom dress shopping. I was dating a junior and going too, so I asked if we could all go another day and she told me to ask my dad to take me. She had gotten me into sports and always went to my games, and I played horrible because I was so anxious about whether or not she'd come. She didn't. I felt like she'd forgotten about me and moved on, so I stopped going over to her house. We'd call and see each other on holidays and stuff, but I was hurt and she never apologized. I still obviously love her and we get along good when we see each other. It's just not often. Lately I've been feeling really down. I lost a friend and my dad's new GF moved in and I'm pretty sure she wants me to move out. Which is whatever, I'll figure it out, but it's more like she'll get mad if I don't clean, but when I do she gets snippy and is like, "You're not your dad's wife." Now Mom is doing good. She got remarried about a year ago and he has 2 kids who are like 10 and 12, Jake and Emma. They're all nice, but I obviously don't know them well. But anyways, before Christmas my mom asked me if I would give one of my old American Girl dolls to Emma. It's not like an heirloom or anything, but it was my cousin's and honestly I don't know Emma very well. So I said no, it's not like they don't have money and they still sell the dolls. I wasn't mean or anything, I just said I didn't want to. But I kept asking her about Christmas and when to be where and she never really told me. I normally spend Christmas Eve with her and she never told me what was going on. I texted her that day and asked when I could give her her gift and she said she'd reach back out after the holidays. That hurt in a way I can't explain because she never wouldn't take my calls or see me before. I guessed it was probably about the stupid doll and probably should have given her space, but I still texted her Happy New Year. Penny got super mad and drove out and yelled at me. She said that I had to stop bothering Mom when I broke her heart by picking Dad. I told her that wasn't true and she told me they got divorced because Dad had an affair and that I was an idiot if I hadn't figured that out. Nobody had ever told me that and Dad hadn't dated anyone that I knew about until recently. I got upset and told her to leave and didn't even give her my mom's present. I was so upset. I haven't told my dad yet, but I've been really upset about it. I feel like I never meant to hurt her but feel really bad. I don't know if I should reach out to her or if I should just leave well enough alone like Penny told me to. I'm pretty sure she's moved on from me. She's posted pictures of her and her husband's kids with Penny and I don't think she has space in her life for me anymore, and it's all my fault. Commenter: Your mom is the one responsible for communicating things. If she's feeling resentful, it should be a conversation. But the fact she basically just stopped showing up suggests you couldn't win in this scenario anyway. She was the one with the burden to stay involved. You were a kid who needed your mom's presence and didn't get it. I know I wasn't perfect. One Mother's Day I had just gotten over COVID and was still super tired, and told her I didn't think I was up for 1.5-hour round trip. She basically stopped calling after that and I wish I had just sucked it up and gone. Update: I talked to my parents. It wasn't fun. I confronted my dad about what my sister told me, and he admitted it was true. It was hard for me to hear because I had a boyfriend cheat on me a few months back and my dad had been there for me. I also told him about what his girlfriend had been saying. He was upset about it and said he'd take care of it and talk to her. It seems like she's been nicer, but I don't really trust her. My dad and I are okay, though. I'm still upset about what he did, but he could still be a good dad and not a good husband? It's kind of complicated. Like maybe his GF deserves to be with him. That's mean. Unfortunately, stuff with my mom has been bad. We used to always go to the ballet at Christmas, it was our thing together. But a few years ago after the divorce, she said she didn't want to that year and just never asked me to go again. I asked a few times, but she always said she couldn't do it. But last week she made a post with her, Penny and Emma, her stepdaughter, that she wanted me to give the doll to. And obviously they were at the ballet. When I saw Penny the next day, I feel like she wanted me to ask about it, but I didn't. She asked me if I wanted to go, and on Mom's birthday present, it's in a few weeks. I asked if I was going to be invited to her party/dinner, and she said that shouldn't matter, so I told her I'm not getting Mom anything for stuff I'm not invited to. I got her a Christmas present, and she didn't invite me over, and I had gotten her a wedding present, and I wasn't invited. Penny told me they didn't want to invite me to the wedding because Mom didn't want me reporting anything back to my dad so she could enjoy the wedding. She eloped in the Caribbean. That made me really upset, so I called my mom later and asked if it was true. She was annoyed, I could tell, and told me she'd meet me to talk, but I had to promise I'd listen. So I drove all the way out to talk to her, and she was going on about boundaries and how if I wanted her in my life I had to respect them. And her boundaries are like I'd need to give her 3 days notice before seeing her, not asking the day of or before. And I'd have to invite Emma to anything we did and put effort into being a big sister to her, and I was so over it. I asked her again if the wedding this was true, and she said that she just wanted to enjoy her wedding after everything. I never have ever gossiped with my parents about the other. Even when I knew that they wanted to, I never did. And even if I did, my own mom cared more about her ex finding out about her wedding than having me there. I kind of lost it at that. I know it was wrong, but I couldn't help it. I've just been keeping things inside for so long and trying to get her to love me again, and it's pointless. She doesn't want me around, and I don't want to be around anyone that doesn't want me there. So I told her that, and I told her that I had no idea that Dad had an affair until Penny told me, but at this point I didn't blame him. She could have fun with my replacement, but it won't ever be the same because she's not her mom. She had a mom and it's not her, and she'll always pick her mom over her. My friends' moms go out of their way to see their daughters, and I have to beg mine for scraps. I wish I had told her where to shove her boundaries, but I didn't have the juice to do that, haha. But I did tell her to forget that she ever had me and left. She called me a bunch, but I googled it, and since I'm 19 I'm allowed to block her number. So Penny and her husband have been calling and texting me, so I told them she needs to respect my boundaries. I think I'll be okay, but it's been hard. I have a therapist who helps me sometimes, but I think cutting my mom out will be good long term. I don't want to end up like her, and if Penny wants to cut me off for that, that's fine. My friends and I decided to get an apartment starting this summer. I think it'll be good for everyone. My dad was sad when I told him, but I need to start my life. Like, I know it's kinda BS because he'll be paying my rent, but we promised we'd get dinner at least twice a week. I know he did something bad, but I kinda meant what I said about not blaming him. And at least he's always been there for me, unlike her.